Hey guys, here to just explain the notes assignment. So for every week, you are going to have an assignment where you have to take notes on the lessons. That'll be assignment 0 here before the first lesson, before the first assignment. It's just something you have to do every time there's a lesson. Why do we take notes? There's 3 big reasons. One is that you need a place to have as a resource. So you're not going to remember everything. It's not just going to go right into your brain. You watch the video immediately in your brain. That's not how it works. All right. So we have to get it down somewhere where we can refer back to it later. Might forget, we have it as a resource, right? So not even just for the next assignment, but also for the assessments, which will be later. We'll have to remind yourself you have notes. The second reason is because condensing those ideas is really important in terms of learning. The learning research shows that if you hear something, read something, anything like that, you have to then, if you want to learn it, you have to then condense it in your mind, summarize it a little bit, say, here's what I learned, and that will help you learn, it'll help you stick. And the third reason is the learning research also shows if you're actually writing it, take that pen or pencil and literally write it down. That will also help you remember. So those are the 3 big reasons we do it, and I'm going to show you how you're expected to do this for your notes each week. So as it says right here, when we're completing the notes, you're expected to have at least one example or explanation for each of the lesson's learning targets. What does that mean? Let's go into the first lesson and look. Okay, well, I've got objectives, same as learning targets. That's what it means. I can do these 3 things. This is what you're expected to know by the end of the lesson. So these are the things you're going to take notes on. List the 3 major operations and their inverses. Understand that the inverse operations undo each other, and solve a 1-step, 2-step, and 3-step equations by using algebra steps. So we're going to need an explanation or example or both, but at least an explanation or example for each one of these. So as we go through the lesson, there's a video. There's also some examples down here. So you're going to want to, on your notes, literally by hand, write these guys out. You're going to write each one and provide an explanation or example. So I wrote some example notes right here, and we're just going to look down them. So this is a picture that I took on my phone and then emailed it to myself on my phone. Yes, you can send an email to yourself. So I just pulled up my Google and sent it right to myself, and then I pulled up my email on the computer and then uploaded it here. So that's how you can turn it in. That's how you're going to be expected to turn it in at the end. But so here's a picture of it. And it just does that. Here's lesson 1 from week 1, solving equations. List the 3 major operations and their inverses. Okay, here they are. These are the things that I can do. This is the learning targets, right? I can do this. List the 3 major operations and their inverses. Okay, here they are. I can understand that the inverse operations undo each other. Okay, I'm going to write that in my notes. I can understand that the inverse operations undo each other. Well, if I need an example or an explanation of that, I'm going to do that. So I wrote something like, if I do one operation and then it's inverse, I'll be back to where I started, and gave an example to help myself, like, with that explanation, right? 5 plus 10 and minus 10, we're back at 5. 5 times 10 and divided by 10, we're back at 5. So it's just a little explanation and example. And then the last learning target, solve a 1-step, 2-step, and 3-step equation using algebra steps. So I would write that out, solve one, so blah, 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 blah. And then give an example of each. Here's a 1-step. Okay, the 4t equals 13. You'll notice this is an example from the video. That's totally fine. Just give an example. It's good to have a little explanation with it here. I said, since we're multiplying by 4, the inverse is dividing by 4. We do that to both sides to get the final answer here. So this says 1-step, 2-step, 3-step equation. So you would add another example of a 2-step and then an example of a 3-step. And then that's it. Those are all my objectives. So when you look back at this, you could say, okay, I get these things. These are the things that I got from the lesson. I've got 1, 2, and 3. They're right here. I've got examples and explanations. Good with that. You can use that to complete the next assignment. You can also have those notes for you later. And hopefully the act of creating those notes help you learn. And then to submit, of course, it says to complete the assignment, you got to complete it on a piece of paper, preferably in your notebook, so you can have it there, right in order and something that it's in. You want to take a picture and upload it to this assignment. So, like I said, I emailed it to myself. You can get it here however you want. If you have the Schoology app, you can probably just go in and upload it straight up. So you just come over to submissions and submit those pictures.